The Patriots and Pathmakers Gallery is another one of my favorite galleries, and that one starts to broaden out the stories of Masonry, starting really with the creation of our country. And there's this beautiful mural, it's a replica of a mural from Washington, D.C., and it depicts George Washington laying the cornerstone of the Capitol. He is acting as the Grand Master in that ceremony at that time. George Washington was a Freemason who was also very, very active, took his oath of office as president on a Masonic Bible. And so it really shows how Freemasonry began literally with the beginning of our country. One of my favorite items in the Patriots and Pathmakers Gallery is William Clark's Masonic apron. William Clark became a Mason in St. Louis. Most people know William Clark as part of the famous Lewis and Clark expedition. They may or may not know that both of those men were Masons. Meriwether Lewis was a Mason when he became governor of the territory that we now know as Missouri. He established the first lodge in St. Louis, or what we now know as St. Louis. That lodge would not survive, but would be replaced by the lodge that then is where William Clark became a Mason. And there is this wonderful connection in history around St. Louis and the men who created it and Freemasonry. It was often said that Masons helped create the country and Masons helped create the state of Missouri. And as we came upon the 200th anniversary of the state of Missouri, it also happened to be the 200th anniversary of the Grand Lodge of Missouri. And so we asked the question, is it true? Did Masons really create both the state while they were creating the Grand Lodge? And the answer to that was yes. They absolutely did. And the Patriots and Pathmakers Gallery has an interactive display that really highlights that. And it shows you how men like Meriwether Lewis and William Clark, names that we know from our history books, they were there creating our state. The first governor, Alexander McNair, was a Missouri Mason. One of the first Supreme Court justices was a Missouri Mason. It goes on and on. Edward Bates was probably one of the individuals most responsible for creating the Grand Lodge of Missouri, writing its constitution. He was a Mason in St. Louis. He would actually go on much later in life to run against Abraham Lincoln. He lost that election, but then became part of Lincoln's cabinet of rivals. So you see how these men who created the state and created the Grand Lodge, they were Masons, and they played an integral role in those communities and in the state itself. And that is all featured and highlighted in that particular gallery.